So this video, we're going to be talking about unit price, and I think this is one of the most practical videos that you'll get in 6th grade, because unit price is something that everyone uses, no matter how old they are. If you're trying to get a good deal on something, then the unit price is so helpful in trying to figure out if you're getting if you're spending your money in the best way possible, getting the most out of your money. All right, so let's take a look at what it really means. A unit price is the price for one unit or item. So a unit price is really just a special type of unit rate. Remember, we saw the 1 in unit rate, which is why we also called it the UNO rate. But unit price, what makes it a little different is that it's going to be always related to cost. All right, so it's also going to have a 1, but it's always going to have a 1 for the item. It's the cost for one item. So in this example, they give us it costs $50 for 4 movie tickets. Well, right now this is not a unit price because it's for 4 tickets. So if we wrote this as a ratio, we would write $50 over 4 tickets. But just like with the unit rate, if we want to make it a unit price, then we're going to divide it. So if I divide 4 into 50, 4 will go into 5 once, and I subtract the 4, I get 1. I bring down the 0. 4 go into 10 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract to get 2. I'm sorry, I'm running out of room here. Add a decimal and a 0. Bring it down. 4 will go into 25 times. Okay, and then, I'm out of room. 20. All right. So what that tells me is that it is $12, and because this is dollars, 50 cents, not just 12.5, for one ticket, or per ticket. So this is your unit price. It's the cost for one thing, $12 for one ticket. Here, just a ratio. Here, a unit price. All right, so let's practice. It says in a unit price, the price will always be the numerator. Okay, so notice that we put the cost of the tickets, $50, in the top part in the numerator. And the item, or the unit, I'm going to put unit right there, will always be the denominator. So you want to make sure that you set up your ratio correctly, and that way when you divide, you get the right answer. So to find the unit price, you're going to be dividing the price by the number of units. All right, so it should look like this. The price will be on top, or the cost will be on top, and the units will be on bottom. Okay, and after you divide, it'll be for one unit, but it may, most likely will start off as more than 1 unit when you're finding unit price. All right, so let's see how this applies. So Jenny paid $46 for 5 toys. How much did she pay per toy? All right, and we're asking for cost. So the cost for 1, that's a unit price. So again, I want to make sure I set it up correctly. So my cost goes on top, $46. My unit, so this would be 5 toys, would go on bottom. And just like the unit rate, I divide to solve it. So top in, bottom out. If I take the 46 and I divide by 5, 5 will go into 46 9 times. That's 45. When I subtract it, I get 1. So I add a decimal, bring it up, add a 0, bring it down. So 5 will go into 10 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. When I subtract, I get 0. So I have no remainder, so this is 9.2. But remember, this is a price, so it's really $9.20. And now it's for how many toys? 1 toy. So this is now a unit price, $9 for 1 toy. And remember, I can also write this kind of as with a slash. So I could also say $9.20 per toy like this. Okay, both of these are correct. I'm just going to choose to box in 1. All right, number 2, Tiffany pays $40 for 160 minutes of talk time on her cell phone. How much does she pay for each minute? So again, this is the cost for one thing. For 1 minute, each minute means 1. So I'm finding a unit price. So I need to make sure I set it up correctly with the price in my numerator. So 40 in my numerator, and then the number of items in my denominator, so 160 minutes in the denominator. All right, to make this a unit price, or UNO price, then I divide. So again, top and bottom out, these are good to remember. So top, oops, I just wrote it wrong. Top goes in, bottom goes out. So this is actually out here. It'd be easier to divide the other way, but that's not the way this is set up. All right, can you divide 160 into 40? No, you cannot. So I'm going to put an X here, add a decimal, bring it up, add a 0. 160 will go into 400. I'm going to think 2 times. If you're not sure, then you're going to have to multiply out here to the side. So if I do 160 times 2, that's 0, 12, carry your 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3, 320. 2 times 160, I'm going to subtract 320. Right, so 0 minus 0 is 0. On this one, I'm borrowing. 10 minus 2 is 8. All right, because I have a remainder, I have to keep going. So add a 0 and keep going. 160 into 800. If I'm not sure what that is, then I just have to test it and multiply. So I'm going to guess it's 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry your 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. So I guessed correctly. That would be a 5 up here. 5 times 160 we just found was 800. So when we subtract, we get 0. All right, so remember we were solving for the cost. I've got a decimal, so that means 25 cents basically for what? 1 minute. Okay, or again, I can write this as 25 cents per minute like that. Okay, cost on top, units on bottom. The best station sells 7 tickets for $28. What is the price per ticket? So per ticket means for how many tickets? 1 ticket. So I'm looking for ticket on bottom. Okay, and remember price is on top. So I have $28. So this is backwards than how they said it, but I'm gonna know that my price goes on top, my items go on bottom, 7 tickets down here. All right, to make it a unit price, I divide. So top is 28, bottom is 7. 7 I'm going to 28 4 times. So what have I found? That this is $4 for what? 1 ticket. Or I can say $4 per ticket. Again, you can write it either way. Number 4, 8 cans of tuna cost $2. What is the unit price? So here they just asked for the unit price, so I have to know what that means. Again, I'm going to start with my price, where, in my numerator. So my price was $2. My units are on bottom, 8 cans. To make it a unit price, I divide. So I'm going to take my top number is 2. My bottom number is 8. Put it outside. Can't divide 8 into 2. So I add a decimal, bring it up, add a 0. 8 will go into 20 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. When I subtract, I get 4. Now I bring down another 0. 8 will go into 45 times. 5 times 8 is 40. And I'm done. All right, so this is the numerator now, 25 cents. For how many cans? I've changed it to a unit rate, so for 1 can. And again, I can rewrite this as 25 cents per can. All right, I like it this way because I think that's the way you're going to see it most often. But again, either way is fine. Number 5, Walmart sells 8 apples for $1.60. H-E-B sells 6 apples for $1.10. Which store has the better buy? All right, so this is one of those real life situations where you're shopping around, you're trying to get the best deal for your money. And so in order to compare things, because we're talking about 2 different amounts here, we don't really know what the better buy is unless we know what it costs for one. That's why we have to find the unit price for both of them. So in order to set up a unit price, my price goes on top. So $1.60 over 8 apples. And on this one, I'm going to do $1.10. Oops, $1.10 for 6 apples. Okay, and I need to find both of them, so I'm going to divide twice. So if I do top in, bottom out, can't divide into 1, bring up the decimal, 8 will go into 16, 2 times 8 is 16. I subtract, I get 0, bring down the 0, 8 will go into 0, 0 times. All right, so what have I found? It is 20 cents for 1 apple, or per apple. Okay, on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Top number is $1.10, divided by 6. I can't divide into X. can't divide into 1. I'm going to put an X there. Bring up my decimal. 6 will go into 11 one time. 1 times 6 is 6. When I subtract 11 minus 6, I get 5. Bring down the 0. 6 will go into 50. 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. I subtract, I get 2. I'm going to bring down the 0. 6 will go into 20. 2 times, that's 12. And I'm going to go ahead and stop because I know, I've told y'all before, that you only have to go to 2 or 3 decimal places. So 0.182. Now, because this is money, I need to go ahead and interpret that. I wouldn't say 182 cents. That does not make any sense. So I'm going to round to the nearest hundredth. I know that cents is usually in the hundredths place. So the 2, I look at the 2. Because this is not 5 or more, then I don't need to round up. So I'm just going to leave it as 0.18 or 18 cents for 1 apple. All right, so who has the better deal? Would you rather pay 20 cents for an apple or 18 cents for an apple? 18 cents, hopefully, if you're saving your money. And where was the store that had 18 cents per apple? That would be H-E-B. So my answer is H-E-B because of the cost, unit price. All right. Last one. Texaco sells fountain drinks that cost 89 cents for 32 ounces or $1.07 for 44 ounces. Which drink is the better buy? All right, so which one are you getting more for your money? So I'm setting up a unit price. I'm going to set the price in my numerator, 89 cents, and the units in my denominator over 32. I can go ahead and make this a unit price by dividing. So top number is 89, bottom number's 32. All right, I'm going to bring up the decimal, and then can I divide 32 into 8? No. So this time I'm not putting an X because I need the 0 to be a placeholder. 0 times 32 is 0. And now I bring down the 9. 32 will go into 89. Thinking twice. Over here, 32 times 2, 64. So subtracting 64. That's 5 and 25. All right, so I need to bring down another 0. So 32 will go into 250. Maybe 7. 32 times 7. 14, carry your 1. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22. Yep, that's pretty close. 224. So 7 times 32 is 224. That would be 26. Yeah, I'm okay. All right, so I'm going to stop because I have 3 decimal places. This kept going, but this is enough to give me a comparison. All right, so if I interpret this, because it's money, I don't have 27,000 cents. This is the hundreds place, so I'm going to round. Since 7 is 5 or more, I do round up this time. So this kind of rounds to 3 cents. So this is going to be 0.03 cents for what? 1 ounce of drink. Okay? Then over here, if I do the second one, I had $1.07 for 44 ounces. And so now if I divide top in, bottom out. Okay, I can't divide into 1, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up my decimal. You can put an X or a 0 there if you want. Does 44 go into 10? No, so I have to put the 0 there to hold the place. Okay, so I can do 0 times, and then I have 10 left. Bring down my 7. 44 will go into 107 twice. 2 times 44 is 88. So when I subtract, I'm going to be careful borrowing. So this becomes a 9. This is a 17 now. 17 minus 8 is 9. 9 minus 8 is 1. All right, I'm going to bring down another 0. 44 will go into 190. I'm going to guess maybe 4 times. That's kind of close to 50. So 44 times 4. 16, carry your 1. 16 plus 1 is 17. Yeah. So this is 4. 4 times 44 is 176. And then I subtract, I get 14. All right, so I can stop because I've got 3 decimal places here. And then because it's money, I'm going to go ahead and change this back into something that makes sense for me. So I don't have 24,000 cents. I'm going to round. 4 this time is not greater than 5, or not 5 or greater. So this does not change the 2. So what I have is 0.02 for 1 ounce. All right, so if I'm comparing the drinks, what's your better buy? Are you paying, would you rather pay 3 cents for 1 ounce? Oops, sorry, 3 cents for 1 ounce, or 2 cents for 1 ounce? Well, it's not maybe that big a difference to you. It's 1 penny, but over time, if you drank one of these Cokes every day, then that would add up after a while. So the better buy, which drink is the better buy, is the 44 ounces. This one right here. So the 44 ounce is your better buy. Okay, so unit price, really the most important thing to remember is it's just a special type of unit rate or UNO rate, which has to be set up correctly. So as long as you get the price on top, divide it by the unit, then you should be good. All right, I'll see you in class.